Yeah, thank you. Was that good for you? I'm telling you, I just told God, take me where I haven't been before, and wow, that just was kind of cool. I just kind of wanted to stay in that little pool of water. I don't know about you. Felt kind of good to me. Anyway, if you want to keep repeating that meditation, just buy the CD. Or you can write in and pick up the CD. Anyway, I was wondering, I was thinking, when you start thinking about doing a talk, when Dr. Jim asked me to do the talk today, I was very honored, and I thought, then you get this, this feeling of, oh God, what am I going to talk about? Oh God, what am I going to talk about? And so you wait a little minute, and you wait for a little while, and then all of a sudden an idea pops up, and then something else pops up. And I was on Google, or whatever the search engines that I was on, and I was doing some work on something else for a class that I'm putting together. And suddenly it dawned on me, what if I put in the word God? Have you ever searched for God? Okay. And so I did. And I put in God. Guess how many little things that I got up? How many hits? 2,380,000 results. No, 280,000 results. No, million results. Okay, 280 million. 2,280,000,000. Oh. Yeah, I know it got lost because it's such a big number. And then I thought, okay, so I started reading some of these sites that said, what is God? If you're searching for God, what is God? Don't do it. Please don't do it. There are so many people out there, and there's so many ideas out there of what God is. And if you really want to go there, you can read them all if you'd like to, however long it may take you. But you get a different perception on every single one of them, what you believe God is. And then I started looking up, and I said, well, how about, the names of God? There are a lot of names that I know of, like Jehovah and Yahweh and things on that order, spirit, mind. So I put in, names for God. And I got 166 million. Wow, that's a lot of names for God. Now, how on earth can I remember 166 million names for God? And I thought, well, just make up your own. God doesn't mind. You can make up whatever you want to. So next thing I did is, you have to get the definition for God. So I went to the dictionary, and he said, okay, what's God? The one supreme being, the creator, the ruler of the universe. Supreme being considered the reference to the particular absolute, or the God of Islam. One of the several deities, especially a male deity, presiding over some portion of worldly affairs, a supreme being according to some particular conception, God of mercy, God of light. Oh, that's interesting. I thought, well, what is Ernest Holmes? What's his? I went to the glossary of our Science Mind textbook. I said, what does he say? He said, God, the first cause, the great I am, the unborn one, the uncreated, the absolute and unconditioned. The one and only. Man comprehends God only to the degree that he embodies the divine nature. Wow, that's a mouthful. God, wow. First cause, the great I am, the unborn one, meaning that there's absolutely no substance. It's the space between. It's everything and nothing. Everything and nothing. Well, gosh, what's that mean? Everything and nothing means wherever you are, God is. Whatever you look at is God. Oh, crap. Well, that means that sister-in-law you don't like, or it means that person in the office you can't stand. How can I look at them and see God? Come on, that's ridiculous. They're a pain in the you-know-what. So I can't see God there. But when you think of God and you think of this teaching and you think of the absolute, you know that God is everywhere and in everybody. Sometimes it's buried a little deeper in some people than it is others. But, if you keep looking, and you keep looking, one of these days you'll find something about them that is God. And the other thing that you have to realize that whatever you're looking through, which is your own perception and your own idea, is reflected back at you. Ooh. So what you don't like about somebody else, we've talked about this so often, what you don't like about that person is something inside of you that you believe the truth to be. Something inside of you that you don't like. Oh, that's even worse. Think about it. Next time you feel that feeling, think about it. What is it that I'm feeling? So, okay, what does God look like to you? I mean, there's a deity in the sky. There's statues running around. You have little Buddhas, whatever it is. The defender, the wonderful, angry God that's putting things on you and that's judging you and sending you lightning bolts or whatever it is, or giving you those wonderful, wonderful, phenomenal miracles in your life. And Bruce Almighty, I love that show, you know. Morgan Freeman, God, I love that image. And in that movie, I love it because Jim Carrey finally got the properties, and he was God. He got to do all this stuff and see it instantaneously and manifest all of these things, and what happened to him? He kind of got carried away, didn't he? He forgot the allness of God. He forgot the majestic magnificence of God that we all have within us, and started talking about me, what can I get? What's in it for me? What can I get? What's in it for me? There's a story of this little girl, what God looks like. And she loved walking to school with her friends and walking home with her friends. I don't know, whatever age you think would be appropriate to walk back and forth to school. And one day, her mom looked out the window when it was time for her daughter to come home, and she realized that it had gotten really dark and cloudy, and she started hearing thunder and seeing lightning and thought, oh, I hope that doesn't scare my daughter. And it got louder and louder, and she said, oh my gosh, I bet you she's really scared walking home, so I'm going to go get her. So she got in the car, and she started moving along, and I'm going to go pick up my daughter. And usually she's with a bunch of friends, and then she sees her daughter down the street, but she's all alone. And then she heard a clap of thunder, and the little girl turned around and looked up at the sky and smiled, and then there was a flash of lightning. And her mother thought, what on earth is going on? She said, maybe she's so afraid that, she's gone crazy. Who knows? So she watched her for a little while longer, and sure, anytime a clap of thunder happened, she'd turn around and look up into the sky and smile, and then a flash of lightning would come on. So after watching her for a little while, she went on, she pulled up next to her, and she opened the window, and she says, honey, what are you doing? She said, oh, mommy, it's so exciting, God's taking my picture. What's your God look like? All right. Do you negotiate with God for all of the things that you want in your life? I'll never drink again if you just give me. I'll never swear again, I promise. You beg God for things. The workforce, I love that cartoon. It's Monday, go to work. And then the guy sitting in the water with his laptop, he's working. What feelings do you have when you look at these pictures, especially the guy with the laptop? What a way to work. I wish I could work that way. How come some people have all the luck? Right? Or are you negotiating for more money in your life? Are you negotiating for a better car or a home? I thought that was so cute. Look at that house down there. It's like a little Volkswagen. It's so cute. I don't know. People are magnificent everywhere. They're very creative. So if you're searching for God, everything we do is infused with the energy with which we do it. If we're frantic, life will be frantic. And if we are peaceful, life will be peaceful. And so our goal is, in any situation, to find or become inner peace. Is that hard to do? If you're in the middle of chaos, or you have somebody yelling at you, or got stuff to do, and and there's lots of pressure going on around you, is it hard to find that inner peace? We think so, don't we? Guess what? Not making light of any situation that anybody is in, because I've gotten it before. Well, you don't know what I'm going through. You couldn't possibly know what I'm going through. I don't need to. If you're in the middle of chaos, if you're in the middle of a situation that is just taking you outside of yourself, the first thing you need to do is step back physically and take a deep breath. Do that with me right now. And let it go. breath is the most peaceful way, or the best way to bring peace and joy into your life. Just breathe. And it'll bring in a different perspective. It'll give you time to take a look at whatever is outside of you, to know that whatever it is it's creating, chaos or problems, it's not the truth. Well, Ralph Waldo Emerson, I love Emerson. I remember the first time I took the Emerson class in Science of Mind too. And I liked a lot of what he said, but I didn't really comprehend half of what he said. Because when you go into Emerson, a lot of his things were at that time, I felt were over my head. I couldn't understand what he was talking about. And after like 2 or 3 pages, all of a sudden I get a sentence and I go, oh, I understand that. I was so excited because I got one little sentence out of 2 or 3 pages. And then a few years later, I taught the class. And when I was asked to teach Emerson, I'm going, oh, God, how am I going to do this? I don't even understand the man. How am I going to do this? Teach other people how to read this. So I read the book again. And I started going through, and all of a sudden, I realized that I had changed. I was no longer at the place I was the first time I read it. And it started, honest to God, Spirit or somebody put stuff in there that I believed. It changed all the words around. So I could believe it. I understood what it was saying. It was like a miracle. And I knew that when I picked up that book, because I was so apprehensive about teaching this class, and I just said, God, help me. And it just went in and changed all the words around. That every sentence I read, I understood, and I just got so excited about it. Because I understood what he was saying. Well, maybe not everything, but most of it. A chief event of life is the day in which we have encountered a mind that started us. What's that mean? It means that the day that you realize that you are one with God, that is all you are is God, that presence, that infiniteness, that wonderful, phenomenal wisdom and intelligence. When that day comes, when you realize that is a chief event in your life. And when you live from that space, your life opens up. Your life changes. Your life becomes so wonderful. And we still have challenges, but we may not have them for as long. We do well to listen to this inner voice, for it tells us of a life wonderful in its scope, of a love beyond our fondest dreams, of a freedom which the soul craves. When you recognize and become aware of that within you, that is this presence and magnificence and intelligence and wisdom and joy and all of the things in life, when you become aware of that, you feel the freedom. You're no longer bound by the baser instincts. You're no longer bound by the frustrations and the anxiety and the fear, because you realize you don't need them anymore. How do you get to that place? Before you can accomplish your audacious goals in life, you need to first begin by thinking successful-minded thoughts. Now, what do we mean by that? What you think, we see this all the time. There's so many cliches that we have. What you think and what you feel becomes your reality. As above, so below. As within, so without. God is all there is. Let go, let God. We have all of these things that we use so often in our teaching, and they use it in a lot of teachings. And you say, well, what the heck is that all about? As within, so without. That means that what it is that we think, feel, and say, what it is that we totally believe about ourselves, which is probably buried in a subconscious thought or belief system somewhere. Barry Lipton calls them memes or mind virus. And I'll get into that on my talk on Wednesday. I'm doing a talk on Wednesday, so I'll get into some of that. But what it means is the fact that we have all of this stuff that we carry around with you. You know the stuff you dropped at the beginning of the bridge? All that garbage? It's not the truth about who you are. And all of that stuff, what we believe, manifests in our life. It comes into our life. We open the door, the portal. Now somebody said, now how does that happen? And I was talking to a person the other day. We were doing some prayer work together. And she said, how come this is, this whatever's going on in my system, how come that's happening? And what I could think of, what popped in my mind, is the fact that we are open and we have everything that ever was, ever will be, ever is already out there. It's already there. It's like this huge filing system, this computer. The computer folders? So you've got all these folders in this massive, everything that ever was or ever will be. And we're all open to them. They're there for all of us. And when you vibrate, we're all full of vibration. When you vibrate at a certain level, you have certain folders that open to you. When you vibrate at another level, you have other folders that are open to you, whether you're aware of it or not. And the more you become aware of what's around you and the infinite possibilities within you, the more folders that open up to you. And all you have to do is click on that folder. Now, a lot of times we click on the folders that we don't even know we're clicking on, because that's what we believe about ourselves. Whether it be illness or lack or whatever it is that we're bringing into our life, we've clicked on that folder not knowingly. And everything in that folder is something we've been told all through our life that it's not the truth. My mother's favorite one is, money doesn't grow on trees. How anybody else hear that one? Money doesn't grow on trees? Yeah, it's true. Money doesn't grow on trees, but the leaves are green and it can remind you of money, whatever it is. But I can remember a lot of the different sayings that she used to say. And all of us, when you open that folder of lack or of inability in some way, you can start, when you become aware of the fact that that folder is open in your mind, you can start seeing some of the reasons that that's coming out in your life. To be aware of it. Maybe you're trying to manifest a romantic relationship, more friends, a new job, or simply a more peaceful existence. First, you have to go within. You have to be aware of these folders you have open and close or delete the ones that you don't want. Open the new ones. Come up to a higher level vibration and open new ones. Searching for God. You must learn a new way to think before you can master a new way to be. Awareness. Look at the folders you've got open. Look what's going on in your life. The big awareness is to be aware of the feeling space that comes up within you, because the feeling space is what is a springboard to manifestation. So if you have a feeling coming on in your life, if you have something going on in your life and you've got this feeling space, I don't know about you, I get at my solar plexus, I start to cramp or whatever, or I get upset and it starts rolling. And whenever I feel this, I'm aware enough now to say, uh-oh, something's wrong. I'm having a negative thought, or I'm thinking something that's been there all of my life, so I'm just going to take a deep breath. Of course, this doesn't happen right away. We have to think about it for a while and go back and look at it. But the biggest thing I do is take a step back and breathe and say, okay, bring into the awareness what it is. What is it that I'm feeling right now? What is it? Where is it coming from? Because I know it's false, because it's having an effect on my body. All right, so how can you step in and raise your vibration? Keep learning. It's never too late to teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I've got two 11-year-olds, and yeah, they do really well. I'm surprised sometimes at how easy they pick things up. It's me that I have to learn. Anyway, keep learning new things, as you will keep your mind sharp, and it'll keep you in a constant action towards new and exciting things. By expanding your mind and trying new things, you'll meet new people. Maybe that's a new partner you're looking for. And find new opportunities. How many people are taking classes? Wow. There are classes coming up. A couple hands went up. There are classes coming up. There are summer classes coming up. I've got mine coming up on As You Believe by Barbara Dewey. Tuesday mornings starting July 9th at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 to 11. Open your mind. And if you don't take classes, start reading some spiritual books. There are phenomenal books out there. And if you need a list of them, or you just go into our bookstore and look around. It's 25% off. And just look for a book that speaks to your heart. and then read it. Don't just take it home and put it in a stack of books. I used to do that too. Anybody have a stack of books somewhere? Or are there books on your bookshelf that you've never touched? I do. And I started looking at it the other day, and that's how this second class came about that I'm going to be doing in August. I was looking at the stack of books on my bookcase because I not only have books going this way, I have books going this way. And I was looking at the stack of books, and all of a sudden I saw a book that I'd never seen before. I swear, I don't even know if I bought it. I don't. I've never seen it before in my life. So I thought. And it was Open Your Mind to Receive by Catherine Ponder. And so that's going to be the class I teach in August. But it's like, all right, go find something that talks to your heart. Go look through the bookstore or go in a bookstore to the spiritual section and just look at the titles and let them tell you what it is that you want to know or what you need to know for your next experience in life. Searching for God, I love it. I loved Andy. How many people watched Andy Rooney when he was on? He was just such a cool guy. I've learned that everyone wants to live on top of the mountain. But all the happiness and growth occurs while you're climbing it. We think that the trials and the tribulations and the things that we're going through that we cannot handle. That is there and it hurts and you don't want to deal with it and you want to just bury it somewhere. But that's what helps you grow and expand and evolve. It's the rocks along the way, not the smooth pavement, that helps you to grow and evolve. So whenever you're looking at whatever's going on in your life and you're thinking, this is the worst thing in the world, how am I ever going to get rid of this? What are we going to do? Take a step back, take a deep breath, and say, show me the beauty. Show me what I can get out of this. There's a lesson here for me somewhere. Oh, I know that it's cliched and you're going, yeah, right. Try it. You have nothing to lose and so much to gain. Another thing you can do is treat yourself as well as you treat others. How many people do that? How many times do you are really nice and good to yourself? Especially when something happens. You know, you say something and you go, why did I say that? And then you start the scenarios in your life. Oh, my God, I'm so stupid. Why on earth did I bring that up? Or blah, 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 blah. How many times do we look at stuff in our lives and, we talk to ourselves so poorly? Look at what you just did. My God, how stupid are you? Right? We do that to ourselves all the time. Our self-talk. Now, what if you could take your self-talk and be as nice to yourself as you are to other people? If someone came to you, if a friend came to you and told you about this, what they just did, what would you tell them? What would you say? It's okay. You're fine. You're okay. It's fine to be whatever it is. And, forgive yourself if there's something to be forgiven. Forgive yourself. Many of us can be guilty of treating others like royalty while ignoring our own needs. While it's great being a good husband and wife, friend and family member, remember it is also good it's also good to yourself. Be good to yourself too. That didn't come out right. Anyway, when you forget about your own needs, you will lose yourself, or worse yet, start to resent others. So be nice to yourself. Go take that spa or massage you want. And just sit quietly and say, God, I love you. Every time you pass the mirror, say, oh, I love you. You are beautiful. Oh, you are so great. Look at the wisdom in those eyes. Ah, wow. And do it from the heart space, not the egoic head space. Because what you see looking back and reflected at you is God. How can it be anything else? We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. How many people have good habits? 2. Okay.
That's about right.
Habits. Again, awareness is key. You can become aware of your habits. What's the habitual things that you do in your life? When you get up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Well, I know the necessities, but I know I do. I jump out of bed for that. But but after that, what are the things that you do? Look at your life. Look when you walk into your office, when you step into your car to go into your office, wherever it is. What are your habitual thoughts? What is it that you do every single day that you don't even think about? Do you think about driving anymore if you've been driving for years and years and years? No, you look at the side mirror, you look at the rear view mirror, you look at the side mirror, you look straight ahead. You look at the side mirror, you look at the rear view mirror, you look at the side mirror, and straight ahead. You don't think about it anymore. I don't know about you. I don't think about it. When I turn the key in the car, I expect it to work. I don't go, oh, God, please let my car start. No, I just expect it to work. Well, God works the same way if we expect it to. All you have to do is believe and trust. Make it your habit in the morning to give time to God. Make it your habit in the morning to say, thank you for this day, God. Thank you for this day. And I know there's a song like that. Figure out what's really important to you. Day-to-day life can be so busy and hectic. How many people start your day and it's the end of the day and you're going, Jesus, what happened today? I haven't the faintest idea what I did. Right? Or you get to work and it's 8 o'clock or whatever time you get to work and all of a sudden it's noon and you're going, oh my God, where'd the time go? Because you're just off in this other altar of reality that is not life. To avoid feeling frustrated and frazzled, ask yourself what's really important to you. What activities are enriching your life for the better versus the ones that are only draining you and bringing you down? You ever seen Eeyore? I love Eeyore. Oh, life is terrible. Oh, life is hard. There are tigers running around, jumping on his tail, going, yes, yes, it's another day, let's have some fun, yay! And you want to smack them. Because you're Eeyore. Don't be that way anymore. Start looking at your life, seeing what really turns you on and gets you excited. I know it's music for you guys, singing and writing and doing. Creativity. Do something every day that puts you in that wonderful, beautiful light of God, that gives you that feeling of being connected. Try to eliminate the activities that deplete you as much as you can, so that you can spend more time doing the things that raise your vibration and make you feel happy. Be present and tune into what's important to the deep down inside and focus on that so you always take inspired action. Figure out where your focus is. Be aware of your focus every day. If you have to set an alarm, set the clock on your computer if you're in front of a computer all day. Set a little timer or whatever, and every hour, on the hour, let it ring and say, oh God, what was I just thinking? And become more aware of what it is that was going through your mind. It'll change your life forever. Identify the habits that will lead you to your goals. When motivation fades, those habits will help you power through on those down times, and those times that something really is going on in your life that you have a hard time facing or dealing with. Oh, those positive habits of thinking wonderful thoughts, those positive habits of reading inspirational books, even if it's creative thought every day or science of mind every day. Start your day with something that gets you moving and motivated. Here's another one for Emerson. Before you acquire great power, we must acquire wisdom to use it. No, there was an old phrase, make sure that your brain is in gear before you put your mouth. Make sure your brain is engaged before you put your mouth in gear. How many times do we say things and just let things come out of us, and you haven't even thought about what you're saying? You don't think about it. It is so rote, and it is so part of you. Oh, I can't afford that. I'd like to, but I can't because I can't do it. Oh, I really don't feel good today. I've got such a headache. I got a backache. Oh, this person, I hate this person. It drives me crazy. How many things do we have going through our mind all the time that brings us down to that lower vibration to open those folders of things we really don't want to bring into our lives? It is never too late to be what you might have been. Start where you are. Oh, I'm too old. Everything that ever could have been, I know it's already done, so what's the sense of me trying to do it too? I know what I'd like to do, but too many people have done it before me. So what can I possibly bring to the table, right? Your uniqueness. We're all unique individuals, expressions of God. All of us. Just like our fingerprints, we have that uniqueness within us. And I know I used to teach a class of kids. And when I give them a project and they all have the same things, everything that came out different. Every student had something different than the other student, even though they had all the same material. Because of their uniqueness. Be unique. Be who you came here to be. And do things you enjoy. You know, I've been on vacation for 3 years. Wow. Oh, I can't go camping with you this weekend. I'm at work. What are the things you enjoy? Go walk in the woods. Go by that stream or that little lake and just sit there. Do what it is, needlepoint or knitting or, I don't know, painting. Just do something. Whatever you enjoy doing, make sure you make time for it. Make it your priority instead of something else being your priority. By doing things you enjoy, you'll emit a happier vibration, and others will be drawn to you, to your smiling self. A new partner can present themselves. Someone might want you on their team at a new job. Or you might get invited to the trip of a lifetime. You never know what could manifest as the result of your living a life you love. And I'll tell you something, when you start living a life you love and you start becoming aware of the things that aren't good for you, your life will change. I guarantee it, but you have to do it. You can't just think about it today and go home and say, oh, this is great, I'm just so happy. I'm all lightened up and I went through that meditation. Oh, yay! And then tomorrow you get up and you're Eeyore again. Right? It's Monday morning, right? Stop it. Stop it. Become who you really are. Be not afraid of going slowly. Be afraid only of standing still. What is stagnant dies. So don't be stagnant. Stop looking for God anywhere but within yourself. Meditate, take classes, read spiritual books, do affirmations, and stay in balance with nature and life. When you do, life will take on a whole new meaning and joy. Peace, love will be yours. That brings me to a story I want to close with. There was a woman that lived on the mountains in the Himalayas, and she lived in a little cabin right by a lake or a river. And every day she was in the habit of packing her little lunch in a sack and going down by the river and having her lunch by the river and doing some meditation and just relaxing. And so she went down to the river this one day, and she was telling God, you know, God, I have everything. She has my little garden. I'm not wealthy, but, you know, I'm happy. And I'm so grateful for absolutely everything that you give me. And so she went down to the river, and she said, but the only thing that I really like is a company. I'd like a companion, somebody to talk to. My family's so far away, and I feel so alone sometimes. I know you're with me and within me, but sometimes I just would like somebody to talk to. So she went down and she started meditating, and she put her feet in the water and she started wiggling her toes like we do in the sand. And suddenly she felt a rock by her toes. And so she started digging up. She went down and she picked up what she thought was a rock, and it was this gorgeous gem. The sun was shining. It was shining through this huge gem. And it was sparkling in the sun. And she said, oh my God, I am so blessed. I can do so much with this. I can help my family. I can help my friends. I can do so much with this. Thank you, God. So she puts it in her sack where her lunch is. And she sat there with gratitude in her heart, meditating and saying, thank you, God. And a traveler came along and sat down next to her, and he says, you know, I'm so hungry. I've been traveling for days, and I haven't eaten for at least 2 days. Is there something is there something you can give me to eat? She said, of course. And she opens her sack and gives him her sandwich that she had for that day. And as she opened her sack, the traveler saw that gem in the bottom of the sack. So he ate his sandwich, and he looked over and he says, can I have that gem? Check what you're feeling right now. She said, but of course. And she gave him the gem. So he got up and walked away. And she was, sitting there meditating again, thanking God for all of the, the time she had with the traveler. So the next day she was down at the water, and again, having a lunch, meditating, thanking God for all of the greatness in her life. And this traveler comes back, and he says, I want to give this stone back to you. I want to give this gem back to you. And she said, well, why? He says, that's because you have something so much greater than the worth of this stone. She said, what could I possibly have that's greater than the worth of this stone? And he said, I want you to teach me, and I want you to give me what's inside of you that allowed you to give me this stone in the first place. That's what I want you to give me. And they became friends. And he stayed with her, and they talked. And they created all sorts of wonderful things. So she got what she asked for, didn't she? He got what he asked for, didn't he? God works in wonderful ways. Stop looking outside of yourself. Stop looking for that gem or that job or that partner or whatever it is that you're looking for, and go within and realize you already have it. Express it, believe it, understand it, feel it. It's already in front of you. I choose to have magic and miracles in my life. I want this to be your mantra every day. I choose, let's say it together. I choose to have magic and miracles in my life every day. Let's do it together with feeling. I choose to have magic and miracles in my life every day. And so it is. Thank you.